Today is going to be an exciting and interesting day because I am speaking with a medium for the first time in my life. Honestly, I've got a little bit of anxiety. I don't really know what to expect. I'm a little nervous and I'm also skeptical. I'm hoping that today brings me a little bit of closure. However, again, I mean, who knows what could happen, but I am excited. I've reached out to a few mediums in the past, especially like Long Island medium, and she ghosted me. In this box, I have some stuff that was important to my brother and was actually on his person when he passed. And I don't revisit this box very often. I think because there is a chance that this could help me heal, I am just now kind of processing what could happen in the next like 20 minutes. Oh my God, I gotta get it together. Let's do this.
Yeah, sometimes things will connect later. Most of what comes through should make sense for me to know I'm identifying who I have with me correctly and placing our messages correctly. So I'll ask you that. Yeah, okay. I do have a couple of people here. There's a girl, a younger lady here, girl. I also have a man around, but he's to the side. I always like to acknowledge in the beginning, and hopefully even just get a hello or a little bit in the beginning, in case they're not somebody who steps forward to deliver messages and somebody else is speaking the whole time. But I feel like the younger lady in front of me who is what I want to talk to, and I feel like she has, I don't know, her hair looks lighter than yours. I don't know if she has like blonde or highlights or something like this. Now, your loved ones can come through at any age that they were here. So I don't want to say how old she is yet, but she's appearing younger to me. And I feel like too, there's a sense of like, I don't know. I think she's with a grandmother. She's with, there's an older lady here too. And I'm not sure if who is saying my back hurt. I keep wanting to feel like my lower back, my back hurts, something like that. I don't know if that's like a symptom like she would have experienced, or it has to do with, how a part of her body that was affected by an injury or what. But I'm getting that. I'm also getting, okay, I want to get clear here because I feel like I might be having several people trying to talk to me at once. Now, I want to say, like, the man here is on your dad's side of the family. I
Okay.
don't know if there's an uncle in spirit on dad's side of the family. So know that that's him. But I feel like the grandmother is connected, and you may have more than one, but I feel like the one I'm seeing is on mom's side of the family.
Okay.
And I feel like too, Taylor, is there a Charlotte or a Charla or a CH name? But that might be something you can find out on the family tree if there's a Charla. I want to go more like Charlo or Charlotte or a name like that. They might be giving me a location, like Charlotte or a name of a place, but I don't think it's like Charlotte, North Carolina, or I
Okay.
don't feel that. Now I want to say too that I'm getting okay, thank you, the younger female, and I'm getting a name too. Sometimes names are super confusing in the beginning when I'm not sure who it's coming from yet. But it'll not as confusing once I have a connection with just one person. But there's at least somebody saying Lisa or Leslie or name like this is somebody like her name or somebody she's connected to either in spirit or here that she'll be close to,
Okay.
like the L, yeah, Lisa or Leslie, a name like this. I want to get a little bit, I'm waiting for her to come a little closer to me because I feel like she's the one that's like right in front of me, but I'm aware there's other people here. um, and as she comes forward, I feel like there's a sense of being sick, passing from illness, the younger lady. And I want to say too that she has, I don't know why I keep noticing her hair as being, I don't know if it's blonde or she would just have like lighter highlights or something in her hair like this, Taylor, but she's given me that. And she's also talking about, how do we know? I think she's talking about being close to a little boy that feels like hers, like, so she would have a son. And she talks about having a I don't feel like she's staying long. I can only get her to come so close, but I feel like she was first in line. And I know she has a son, a little boy that she keeps wanting to acknowledge. Yeah. Now, I don't know how, I'm asking her if she can give me information about how, specifically about how she connects with you, or who might, how you would know her. And I'm not getting anything. I keep getting like, a name though in the background, and it might be coming from somebody else, like Jordan or Jorgen or a name like this. And I don't know
Yeah.
who that is.
So Jordan would be my sister's ex-husband. Actually, she's trying to get away from him. His mom had passed, and I think his mom's name was something with like an SH, like
Oh,
a
interesting.
like a Sherry or
So that might be that what I was thinking was Charlotte or
and
that
then
could be.
yep, and then Leslie is Jordan's stepmom.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And she was
I would,
ill before she passed.
yes, and I feel terrible for not remembering
No,
her
no,
name.
no, no. She's only wanting to say a hello and just for whatever reason pass it along to your sister. This is what's fascinating to me is you said that are they breaking up or something?
They're getting a divorce, yes. And
So
it's
this is really interesting, Taylor, and this just shows all the support we have from the spirit side, because I feel like this lady is smiling on your sister, meaning like, like giving her support. So it's almost like the ultimate, like it's okay to, this would be her past mother-in-law, right?
right. Yeah, because
Wow.
she
Wow.
got away.
So it's like it's like I feel like she's saying like that's all she wants to say, and she's like she knows if she hears it from her, it will be the ultimate like it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's gonna
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gonna that's gonna mean a lot to her because
Wow.
she's getting out of a really, really, really bad marriage and her life is just so much better now.
Oh wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's yeah. And I kind of felt like there was like a removal, like a distance with the information I was getting, which is not uncommon when it's like you're not close to her, but she wants to pass a message through. And
Yeah,
it's kind of like
yeah,
you're the medium in a sense,
yeah.
right? Like she's going
Well,
through and you know, share.
yeah. That is well, she's gonna be so happy to hear that because she misses her a lot.
Ah, ah, okay, okay. So
Sorry.
no,
I
not at all. I think this sometimes these messages are like the one this just like blows me away, like that she would come in and like then it but everything connected. So that makes sense. Now there's a man on the spirit side who I want to say who feels I know your uncle is here, but I feel like this man is fatherly to you. And I don't know if there's like dad or father-in-law or stepdad, but a father figure. Taylor, for your
yeah,
side.
he wouldn't be my can you tell like how old?
Yeah, let's see here. As long as there's somebody who was like a dad to you, or like a dad into it, either relationally or yeah, through it. And I want to say too, he has a That's there's something about us. He's come out with humor right away, and I almost feel like a quirky sense of humor or his own unique sense of humor. And I feel like he comes in making jokes right away. So I feel like he has his personality. Like I don't know if you're being serious or if you're joking, and I feel like he would be known for this here because that's what comes through the strongest immediately. I do feel like he's like this what he wants to talk about um almost like a passing out or passing over or something like this. I feel a sense of it being unexpected, the timing of his passing being unexpected with him. I feel like this, and I feel like too he's wanting to talk about he says he has good hair. I don't know why, and he's laughing, so I'm not sure if I'm taking him seriously or not, but he's saying he has good hair. I feel like too that he wouldn't want like a big hoorah or a big fanfare, or he says a big parade for me or anything like that. He says I want to okay, just one second here because I feel like I'm like, okay, let's be serious now. Give me some information.
No, I'm literally just like snot is like pouring from my nose right now. So you're fine. You take all the time
That's
you need.
okay. But he okay. Would you understand the man, like the father figure, and he passed unexpectedly and like the sense of humor in that with him?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like too, he's wanting to talk about. Now, is this not your biological father? Like not your father, Taylor?
No,
Okay.
do you want me to tell you who I
Sure. That might just the relationship is what I'm struggling with. Just
think it may be my brother?
your what? Sorry.
My brother.
Oh, your brother. Okay. I was like, he comes in, I don't want to say goofier than a dad normally would, or like with the brother, I totally
Yeah.
get it. I almost feel like I felt like I almost needed to know the relationship here, but he's older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to say more than a few years.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. And I want to say here too that you would understand the unexpected passing. I don't, he didn't have any pain. He wants to like clutch his chest or like this, but really quickly. I don't feel any pain though. This doesn't feel, even though he's clutching his chest, I don't feel like this is, a typical like heart attack like I usually get like that. I just feel like he's trying to show me the suddenness of it, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I also feel like a sense of like, somebody being close to him and trying to help me, and he's like, it's okay, it's okay. Like I feel like there definitely was a sense of on the person here, like trauma of not being able to get to him or help him. You see that? Yeah. And I feel like too, there's almost something, would you understand with your brother, like feeling like my airway is cut off or he keeps going up
Yeah.
here like this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you need to know that he didn't suffer. It's just validation. Okay. He's like, I didn't suffer. This is much more traumatic for the people or person close to him than he's like, it wasn't traumatic for me at all. Okay. And that's a really big deal because it feels like watching this from the outside. It's very like, oh my gosh, something that the person carries with them. I don't feel like it's you who was around, correct? But somebody else.
Well, yeah. You want me to tell you? Like, do I
Sure.
tell
I
you?
feel like I'll just tell you what I'm getting, Taylor, and hopefully this makes sense. I feel like there's almost like a female that tries to come and help, and I feel like there's a boy in the background too, or a guy in the background. Does that make
Um,
sense?
yeah. So
He's talking to you about having he's talking about the TV being on, like the TV is still on, the TV is still on. I don't know why he's saying this. If this was like something he remembers just before he passed, or if there's something about he would leave the TV on, or somebody would leave the TV on. I don't know. That's it, you.
and this may, I'll just tell you, this may not be
Sure.
anything, but when he passed away, my sisters, he would always joke about, well, whenever he was living, he would always mess with my sister when the SPCA like the Sarah McLachlan song would come on. And so after he passed away, he kept my sister's TV kept turning on to that
Oh my gosh.
and
Wow. I just
and
got, when you started saying that, like goosebumps all over. That's like he's like, yes, yes, yes. That's what he's talking about here. Cause I'm like, the TV's still on, the TV's on. Okay.
what she says to me is there was a time he was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you have to just let me process. And so she unplugged the TV and it came on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it came on.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, your brother's definitely taking credit for that. So let her know that he like totally, it's like the TV's on, TV's on. Yeah. Was,
He's just like a jokester. Like, that's what he would do, you know?
yeah. I could tell when like right away when I'm getting that identification, he's already joking. I'm like, okay, this dude is definitely a jokester. like you gotta be serious. You gotta give me some specific things here. Not I gotta know where you're serious. So yeah, totally. And he loves the pranks and still pranking the family. I feel like too, like he would have your sister's older than you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like too he loved pranking her when they were young. He shows me sometimes spirit will show me like a parallel in my own life, and so this might be my own personal example that he's using as an example. But I'm like deathly afraid of mice, and he's showing me like he would if there's something you're afraid of, he'd put it like around or something like that. Like a rubber mouse or something. So to me, that's like the ultimate, like, yeah, loved that. Like the shock factor and scaring you guys or her, especially, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, if he's like making a joke here, but like if they did this, but it's something he would laugh at if they did at his memorial, like hanging this big banner or flag, and it's like yellow and black. I'm not sure. This is something that was hung up for him, and he finds some humor in it, or if it's something like he had that he's like, oh, they should have hung it up. I don't know. And he says too, he didn't have, he's talking about not being good at the relationship. So like romantic partner, I don't know if he was, I don't want to make that more than what it is. Do you understand that, Taylor? I don't know if he was separated or just difficult time with the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
He-
like he wants
yeah.
to take responsibility for that, you see?
He yeah, he right before he passed, he had just found the love of his life. And
Aw.
and but it was it was really hard because they couldn't just be free together, if that makes sense. Like there was
Oh,
so,
okay.
there were so many
In other
attached.
like relationships or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was for sure like in love before he passed away. Yeah.
Aw. Okay. And there's this feeling of like him seeing he could have acted sooner or done something differently or something with that. But yeah, just the fact that he's bringing it up, but it was a challenging relationship, that makes perfect sense. I could take all of that. He's want to make sure I get everything for him that he's trying to say. He says too that there's a lot of, he's like, oh, he's like, I'm good, sis. There's a lot of people over here to keep me company. He both feels like he does his own thing and he's his own person, but he does love like people being around and letting you know, like he has to have people around to go, hey, hey, hey. But he also has this independence to him. It's almost like he goes to see everybody during the day, but I got to be back in my own space at night. So he's the same way in heaven. Like he's talking about being in spirit like this. I feel like too that he's wanting to talk about the now he's that I don't know if it's the same uncle, but he's close to an uncle. And there's almost like a fatherly figure on the spirit side. He's close to. This is
Yeah.
interesting to me because I know he's older than you, Taylor, but yeah, the uncle, I'm not getting yeah, he's like, hey, he's talking about the uncle. This might be the same uncle identified in the beginning.
It could be my Uncle Scott.
Okay. And they were really close.
Yeah. Actually, my Uncle Scott passed away shortly after. Yeah, after
Okay,
Aaron.
after your brother. Okay, like he's talking about having what is this here? He didn't. Okay.
My brother's talking or Uncle Scott is
No,
talking?
your brother. Yeah, I'm just seeing Scott like still by the side. He's like,
Well,
hey, but he doesn't
well,
want to take the time from your brother.
well, yeah, and that's what I'm scared of is like I want to talk to everybody that I can, but I don't want my brother to go away.
Hmm. He's
You
not
know?
going anywhere. He's not. He wants to say that, and that's why he's passing through the hello. Because I was like, oh, he's acknowledging your uncle, but the uncle's just waving. But that's them knowing that, you know, and their relationship and how they're connected to you, and they know that. Now, your brother is wanting to talk about his. I didn't. Yeah, thank you. I feel like there's something like your brother's wanting to talk about his passing was unexpected to him for
Mhm.
sure, but he's wanting not nobody to blame themselves because he's like saying like he takes responsibility. So I don't know if there was something that he took or something that he's like nobody, this was like, I feel like it was, I don't know if it was like a, I don't want to say stupid mistake, but I just feel like he's just doesn't want anybody to blame themselves. Yeah. I feel like your uncle doesn't take too much time, but he does want to get in that. I don't feel like he intended. He doesn't want people to blame themselves because your uncle doesn't. But he did not intentionally. Like it wasn't like a overdose suicide, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It wasn't like that. I feel like he's like I took it. But again, he's over here, and I feel like your brother's like passing this through for him. Okay, because you don't want to lose your brother, so he's like, I'll talk for everybody.
well, no, because that will make my grandmother really happy to hear that
Yeah, totally. And I feel like that's the one big thing. Like, if your uncle's like, just tell them this, just tell them this. Like, I took it, I didn't, you know, nobody else, but other people are blaming themselves too. But the big thing too is that it wasn't suicide. Like, he didn't expect this to happen.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I almost feel like too there was some kind of reaction. I don't know if he mixed drinking with something else or two substances, because that is something he didn't think through. Like that
Maybe.
part. So he's
Yeah.
talking about that. Well, that's your Uncle Scott.
That
Okay.
makes
Yeah. There's the man, is that's here, correct?
Mhm.
Like, your father. Now, and I want to say too that this is his father too.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we share.
Okay, want to make sure that's what you said. Now he talks about being close to dad and wanting dad to know he's around. And just supportive of dad. It feels
Yeah.
like very much like him being very close to him and dad needing that support and just wanting you to know that he's there for him. I feel like recently, like your dad's been like going through struggles. Like he's talking about this. I'm not sure if you understand that. I don't know if it's like emotional or health or what, but just wanting you to know that he's supporting dad.
Okay.
Now, I feel like too that your brothers want to talk about he's passing through a hello from your grandmother. And I think this is on now. Is your mom's mom passed?
Yes.
Okay. So that's who she's identifying as. But you knew her here, your grandmother. And I feel like she's very fond of you. And I feel like we have these memories here together that she's wanting to talk about. And I feel like too, she remembers you like as a young lady or becoming a little lady, something like that, your grandma does. And I feel like too, she might be stepping forward a little bit. And your brother not talking for her, we'll see on her own. But she says too, May is very important as a name, or the month of May. I don't know if this would be like an important birthday to her or anniversary, or if there's somebody named May. I'm not sure, but she's saying May. And she says too that she has a I don't know why she's going like this. Talking about somebody with eye issues, or I don't know if it's hers. But she's, yeah.
I think she had cataracts. I think is what.
Okay, that might be, and I feel like she might have had a recent memory before she passed of either getting a checkup or supposed to have one or something like that. She's talking about, and now her husband's on the spirit side.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Now, she's talking about like joining him. So did he pass before her, Taylor?
To be honest, my mom, I think he did. My mom and my sister on my mom's side and stuff, like they were so close to her. I started getting closer to her as I got older, but time was really limited. So
okay, that's why she like the young lady reference, probably. Yeah. That
so
makes sense, because sometimes they'll show me like remembering them. Grandparents love to remember when they're little, but she's like, you're a young lady. And I can tell she's very grateful for that time that you guys did have together there with that. So yeah, she talks about joining him. And I feel like she's referring to her husband on the spirit side. And she says too that she has a there's something about wanting to go see her, but at the end she knows like you wanted to go see her at the end. So is there something about not being able to get there or being away?
She passed away in the hospital, and I was able to see her one time before, but honestly, it's been a minute since she passed, so
she knew how much you wanted to see her. And it might be that trip she's referring to. I was actually going to say like a facility. She must have had an extended hospital stay.
I think so,
because it feels like she was showing me like hospital bed equipment, but I was guessing more of long-term facility. But I can also get that where it's like she was there for a while in the hospital. There's something about her wanting to acknowledge your mom. Yeah, I don't know why she's talking about a distance. Now, this might have to do with her. Then, like her, she's like, of course it has to do with me. Did your mom want to be closer to her at the end, like geographically?
yes.
Okay, because I feel like she's acknowledging like that was all okay, but like she just that compassion for your mom and like wanting to be closer to her geographically than she could have been. So yeah, okay. And I feel like there's somebody else here. I feel like, because I feel like your grandma's like wanting to make space for another guy.
Okay.
And I feel like too, who his, I do feel like he's younger, and I know your brother is here. So let me step back just for a second, make sure I'm not picking up on your brother who's like right here too. Do you have a friend from your past who would be younger than your brother who's passed, Taylor?
Um, I have another, I don't have a friend, but I do have another uncle that would have been on my mom's side.
Okay, would he have been like young, like I want to say 20s or 30s when he passed?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, I could take that. I don't know if would you have been like in high school when he passed, or okay, that's the high school reference. I sometimes I'll get that mixed up with like a friend from high school or something like that. But I do feel like too he's cute. He's cute. He's handsome. I want to say cute more than handsome. And I want to say too he has like I don't know, would you almost like model looks or something about him that I feel like he could be a model or something. Also, was he very well dressed? Did he like to dress like fashionable?
You know what? That's a question for my mom because again, I mean, I was young and they lived in Shreveport and we lived in Dallas. So like
Oh,
he,
okay.
he
Okay.
he would remember more of like how he dressed and
Oh,
stuff.
that's interesting. But I was getting a double because like your grandma, she's in Shreveport too, like the SH names and that too. Maybe your mom, is your mom open to
Um
message?
yeah, she
Yeah.
actually
Okay. So I feel like see if she would understand her brother wanting to acknowledge the gay guy. This might be back in the day, like somebody, a friend of his, but blonde, good looking. I feel like he's acknowledging a gay guy, and yeah, that your mom might know, that they both would know. Okay.
okay.
See about that. I also want to say too, there's a name like Terry or no, something like this. He's trying to give me. I also was getting another name like Jeff or Jay or George, J name. I know I'm not getting completely. Think they're holding back the whole names because I was like, these names aren't exact today, guys. But he's
Okay.
good. He gives me a feeling of like not having time here, like not time to say goodbye with your uncle's passing. You see?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that would make sense to my mom.
And this might be something your mom would understand, but all of a sudden he's like sucking up something with a straw. And I'm not sure why or what that's about. I feel like that's something like she would remember of something about him. I don't know. And he's talking to about yeah, that he's good. I almost feel a familiarity with him or something, but I don't know. But he feels like he is definitely around the family a lot, like your mom's brother. And yeah, and like she feels him around, or she feels him around still, is the feeling here with her brother. Okay. And I want to get back to your brother because I feel like he's taking over. But like David, is there a David he would know on the spirit side or here, Taylor?
David was his stepdad.
Okay. Now, is he here?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder, this wouldn't be he's not having health issues, is he?
I know he's getting older, but I don't know. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Okay. But yeah, just wanting to acknowledge him. And I don't feel like they were super close here, you see, or like that. I'm almost getting like an oil and water reference at
Yeah,
times.
there's a sticky family dynamic.
Yeah, but he's acknowledging like it's all good. It's all good, ever. I do feel like your brother just feeling maybe protective of people here about regarding the stepfather or something, and he's like, and that would get him really upset. But just wanting to, yeah, your brother certainly feels protective of the family. And I feel like that, like you're almost like a fatherly kind of role, I feel like with your brother.
Was for sure.
Very and I feel like too he always had he says you gotta listen to better music. He's joking about like his music. You gotta listen to better music.
With his music, Thanks.
Yeah, I think he would consider his music the better music. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He says too, there's something about him leaving like right after where the pizza comes out of the oven or right after the pizza he's talking about, like leaving right after this. So I'm not sure if he's referring to like a last vivid memory of like we have pizza and he left, or there's something about something else about that he's wanting to
I
acknowledge.
can't believe you brought up the music. That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
And he says too that he has a don't he definitely guides you a lot, and I feel like too he likes to come, he wants to acknowledge your dreams and pay attention to your dreams and talking about that. So I feel like too there's a sense of like psychic dreams or guidance dreams or something like that. But did he also visit you in a dream, like, but it's been a while?
Yeah. And that's whenever he comes into my dreams, I just do this. I just
Yeah,
cry.
that's fine.
And then
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm just like exhausted. And so he hasn't come to my dream in a long time, and I've been wanting him to visit me.
Let me tell you this first, Taylor, because he's given me like he might be giving you messages in your dreams without actually seeing him, because he's talking about letting your dreams guide you and pay attention. So maybe looking into like dream symbolism and things like that, because he talks about guiding you. And then he was like, and I visit her, like you saw him, but it's been a while. So go ahead. But I wanted to make sure I got that out for him.
No, I appreciate that, because I want him to come to my dreams for sure more. I just feel like maybe he stopped because like all I was doing was just like crying. Like I was.
No. And you know what? I usually say this at the beginning, but I didn't today. I forgot. But like, being emotional doesn't affect the connection at all. At all. In fact, I feel like it's when people aren't, or they have this wall up, or they're like, I'm not going to cry or something. It almost feels like then it doesn't flow so well. So it doesn't bother them at all. It doesn't affect the connection at all. So they see it as healing for us, and they just keep talking.
Yeah.
They just
Well,
know
so
yeah.
there have been things that have happened because we just purchased this house a couple months ago, and like there are things that have happened where like I want to say like it's him, or like
moving things.
not moving, but like there have been
He showed
certain
me some like a light fixture like swaying. It looks like a pendulum, but it's like something bigger. So maybe stay open to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I like there have just been certain things where like I feel like he's in the room with me, or I feel like
Yeah.
that or like maybe like I like saw something out of the corner of my eye. But there was this one.
Yes.
Yeah, there was this one time where we set our this past Christmas, we set our Christmas tree and our Christmas lights on a timer.
Yeah.
And it was 11 p.m. Well, at 12 a.m. I woke up. The only lights that are on are my Christmas tree, and my dog is like walking towards the living room and like looking at the Christmas tree. And I was like, is this him like messing with me, or like oh
yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, for sure. Now, yeah, and he's very much like, well, just like with the whole prank thing. And I find that too, when people are like into that, it's like the physical stuff. Like he really enjoys that. He really enjoys the stuff you can see, even if it like spooks you. And like he said before, he wouldn't mind if it scares you.
Okay, you know what is so crazy? Because there have been so things where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this a demon? Like, what is happening? And because I'm like, my brother wouldn't scare me, and my brother wouldn't scare me, and like he doesn't care. He will scare.
I knew there was more to that. You know how earlier where he gave me that reference, like I'm scared of mice, and he was like, yeah, I would totally like throw a rubber mouse in front of you then, like that. So he totally, like, if you would hear, but we have more fears about that because of like just what we've been programmed, but it's really just his personality.
Yeah,
so
like
he's really not trying to frighten you and make or anything like that. So just staying open to him, and like he's like she can dish it out too. So talk to him like you would if he was here, and tell him to stop it and whatever, and that will kind of open up the communication, because I think he's just wanting to be acknowledged, and he's not truly trying to frighten you, but he does get a little kick out of
yes,
shock factor.
That is so crazy, because when we living in our apartment before we moved here, in the middle of the night, my breaker, like, breaker boxes, like they're shut. So my breaker box is in front of my bed, and it literally in the middle of the night swung open. And I'm like, oh
Oh,
my
that's
God.
the thing that moved then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, am I being haunted? Like, my brother wouldn't scare me. And then now he's like, yeah, I would. Like,
But he really sees it for your highest good, because it really just, because so much of that is just our programming. Like the addition, we carry additional fears because of like scary movies and stuff like that, where he really, wouldn't do any harm. Anything like that, but just wants you to know that he's around. So I think when you start saying hey to him, and you'll start getting different signs and start tell him to knock it off. Like that too. And he says too, there's a big he remembers this like on the cover of a record, but I was gonna say he showed me like a big wingspan, like an eagle or a hawk, that like, he connects through this. And also too, he remembers it like on the cover of a record. Oh, so,
yeah.
big sign. Big sign.
Yeah. I think it's not journey. I have to go back, but you know what? But he there's a song, it's that band, and they have like this like big
like
red
the Eagles, maybe. I'm not sure.
maybe
I think there was a Journey album too, and I think I would have it. No, I'll need to look up and see.
it's so strange because I made his funeral music on my computer, and it uploaded to my iTunes, and so I'll get in my car and like his like funeral music will start playing, and it's like that. It's like song. I can't think of him right now, but that song is in the album where the wings are.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful, Taylor. I love how you put it with the music, like all together, and got that in there. Yeah, absolutely. It's him for sure. And he likes that somebody has wings for him, like bird wings or angel wings. I have bird wings, I think, for sure, but like wings for him too, like made for him. It might be a design with wings that somebody's had made.
Okay.
Talking about too. Yeah, and he says too that there's is there a tiny tattoo, like a dot or something?
I my right after he passed away, to go, I ended up getting a big bird tattoo.
Oh, that's the wings then. That's the design. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for him. Yeah, I have 2 tattoos.
Oh, that's beautiful. I want to say too, he's talking about the dot or a tiny tattoo.
A tiny tattoo.
Or it might be one within yours, but it's just like a little dot. I don't know why. I'm not sure about this.
I'll have to, I mean, there is like an eye, there is like a couple dots, but I don't know.
That would just be like the eye of the bird or something like that. Or
So
so that's what I would assume. So I feel like it has to be something different.
You want to like look at my tattoo to be like,
yeah. Well, yeah, just know that he likes the dot or the tiny. I wasn't sure if he was trying to be symbolic for a tiny tattoo, but I keep seeing a little dot. So he likes that. I'll just say that, and I'm just drawing dots on the page. So that might, yeah. And I feel like too, he wants to acknowledge the, he loves it. He loves what you got for him. He wouldn't want like the hearts or anything like that. You see, he's like, none of that mushy stuff. He loves the bird. The big wings. Was somebody wanting to do a balloon release and we didn't?
oh man, I would have
I
to
feel
ask.
like he likes that it wouldn't like hurt the birds or something. Tastes like the balloons. But he likes that something else we did. Yeah.
Well, I just feel like I know, and he told my sister he didn't want to be buried. He didn't want people to like come and visit him and like be sad, so he wanted to be cremated. But my dad wanted him to be buried, and nobody really gets to visit him because he's in Shreveport other than his mom and sometimes my sister. And
okay.
But that's not what he wanted, and so that too, like I just want to make sure like he's okay.
Yeah, totally. He it's like do your own thing for him, like light a candle where you have his picture. He's like, that's all it's about anyway. Like, really, he's like, it's okay, sis. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have his ashes, but like, he's not there anyway, he says. Yeah. So, how is August important to him? August or the 8th of a month? I'm not sure. from 8. Pay
I
attention to see like repeating numbers too, Taylor. Like 1111. I'm writing on my page. Like he's talking about seeing repeating numbers. Yeah, but the 8th of a month or August, she's giving me and then pay numbers, seeing numbers. He sends you numbers, but I feel like they get mixed up or something. Like you might see his birthday or something, but it's like not in order or something like that. Did he have any kind of like dyslexia or something here?
that would be a question for my dad, but I'm sure he had something.
He's funny. He's like, well, I would get the numbers mixed up here myself, but you might see them come through that way, like jumbled or out of order or something like that. Oh, did somebody plant something for him? He showed me a hole in the ground. And that might be a question for mom or dad, but he's like talk about the hole in the ground and planting.
A question for my sister or his
Okay.
mom.
Okay. It's like a good sized hole in the ground. I want to go to like a large shrub or a tree, like not like just flowers. But he's talking about that. That might be connected to the month of August. I'm not sure, but in August you can find out if that's somebody's birthday or passing. Okay. Questions that you have.
I had a bunch of questions and then I didn't went out.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel bad because I'm like some of the stuff it's I'm gonna get, and then I feel bad that like he like wasted like his energy on saying that, and
No.
like
Here's the thing too, like, so he already knows your thoughts. He knows your thoughts better than mine. So for me, sometimes I would have to be like, okay, this isn't what I mean or whatever, but he knows what will get maybe validated after the fact, like when you talk to your mom or your sister. So he doesn't want you to feel bad about any of that. He wouldn't bring it through if he didn't know it wouldn't make sense later. He's saying like don't worry about what you don't know or something. Don't worry about what you don't know and trust what you know, which like he's with you and he's close to you and he's around. He's also saying too, like, don't make this might be, I don't know what this is about at all, but something in your life, like don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, right. So anything that's going on relationally or in the family, does that make sense, Taylor? He's like wanting to give you that like big brother, and I was like, yeah, that fatherly with that. And
yeah. Well, yeah, and it stinks because he never like I got married and I met my husband after my brother passed away, obviously, and I'm hoping I would assume that he would like love him and that he would, support like our marriage and stuff. And I think that that's what he's.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, he does. And and the fact that yeah, he doesn't have a. He's talking about too your husband being good with the dogs too, being good with the dogs too.
The dogs.
Yeah. Like he's good with the dog too, and like there's something about, I don't know if he walks them on the leash. I don't know why you should show me a leash and like your husband and good with the dogs, like walking the dogs and that. Yeah. Why is he talking about you guys have 2 anniversaries? Like when I asked him for any validation, all he wants to give me about, because I could feel his approval and how much he likes your husband. And that's when he talked about being good with the dogs and showing me the dog leash and giving that to your husband. And then he's like, do you celebrate like the day that you met and the day you got married or something? Because he's like, they celebrate 2 anniversaries. So he knows that. Yeah, he makes me feel like your husband is such a nice guy, just a super super nice guy. I like that. Yeah. And he says too that he's like he's okay looking, but he's really nice. So take with his humor.
It has been a couple hours after my first reading with the medium, and that was really emotional. I'm still trying to process everything that she had told me. I was not expecting to like cry the whole time. I was not expecting to get so much validation and understand as much as I did and it be so clear. And now I just have a lot to think about when it comes to like death and dying. and I feel much lighter. Like I feel like I definitely have some closure. Whether people think that this is fake and she just was like a good guesser, or if they truly believe that our loved ones still try to connect with you and everything, it brings me closure and it makes me feel much better about the passing of my loved ones, and that's really all that matters. So I've gone through several deaths in my life, and I was really only expecting to maybe talk to like one or two of my relatives, but as you heard in the video, if I put it in there, that I had like a room of people just like waiting to talk to me, and some of the information wasn't even for me, it was for me to go share with other people, that it'll bring some closure to them as well. So I can't believe I still have tears left to cry. I've cried all day. But I'll definitely be rebooking a session with her again. She was absolutely incredible. I'll leave her information in the description box below. And I just can't even believe that I was able to experience that. That was so beautiful. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.